I'm brewing with confidence. I know what's gonna happen when Michael Chandler fights Paddy Pimblett, man. I can't wait, baby. I can't wait. Yo, watching film was one thing. Like I watched film when I made my prediction, bro. I've never been more okay. Let me not say I've never been more confident. I'm very confident in this pick. This is my most confident pick on UFC 314. I'll say that right now. And Michael Chandler is the underdog in this fight, which is making me cheese. It's making me smile. I'm happy that they made Michael Chandler the underdog because this means it's time to make money. Moicano wants money. You know what I'm saying? Leo bad, man. And I'm not going to just say, yeah, man, Chandler wins. And I'm going to have to explain to you guys why. You guys trust me. You know, being known as the guy with the best picks on YouTube, it comes with some baggage. It's a hard load to carry, man. So I got to keep defending my belt by showing up every week with some underdog locks. And do I want to say this is an underdog lock? Because I haven't missed the underdog lock this entire year. And I don't know if I want to say it's an underdog lock just because I want to save that 100% record. But I really just don't see Michael Chandler losing to Paddy. So we're going to do a stylistic breakdown. You guys know I have the best stylistic breakdowns on this thing. So let's get it started. Let me first look at the striking. And I'm going to also provide some footage to show you guys what I'm saying. But let's look at the striking. Chandler smokes Paddy, stylistic breakdown, striking wise. Chandler's explosivity versus Paddy's open stance. Now, when I say Paddy's open stance, if you guys haven't noticed, look at any Paddy Pimblett fight. He has a habit of just like he's so open to counters. He's so open to explosive shots. So far, he hasn't went through anyone who had like an explosivity of someone like Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's abnormally athletic, abnormally talented, abnormally explosive. Now, this is going to be a first for someone like Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett has struggled with some people who are not even explosive but aggressive. Like Jared Gordon was aggressive. He beat Paddy Pimblett in my opinion. People can have mixed opinions about that, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't like pressure and he doesn't like explosivity. He's getting both of those this Saturday against Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's front foot always. He's going to be explosive. He's going to be strong. He's going to be scary. And that's what this fight's going to be. Now, Paddy Pimblett does some horrible work going backwards. It's just how he fights. He overextends on his punches. His counter punches are very mediocre. And one thing I'm really going to highlight is Paddy's lazy low kick versus Chandler's crazy overhand. Now, if you haven't seen Paddy throw a low kick, he throws it, and every single time he throws it, he just drops his arm, and it's just a very lazy kick. When I say lazy kick, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. It's almost like he wants to get caught by an overhand. As you can see, when he throws the low kick, you can see there's a clear opening for T. Ferg to throw an overhand, and T. Ferg lands on his neck or he barely lands on him. But I'm telling you right now, Michael Chandler is going to take advantage of this. Paddy just naturally happens to have like a very low arms in his stance, and when he throws his low kick, it just happens to drop everything, and it's very easy to time it with an overhand. And I know Michael Chandler and the speed he has will be able to time someone like Paddy Pimblett who's going to throw a lazy low kick. Every single one of his low kicks are very lazy. You can see how he just torques it, everything down. He's asking for an overhand. Like I said, old T. Ferg couldn't land on you, but trust me right when I say this. Trust me, man. Michael Chandler will find that shot and he will put you to sleep. So that's really one thing I really want to highlight first. Like, you can be lazy against these older people or like these people who don't have the explosive like tendencies, but like a Michael Chandler, that's not going to do you any good, and that's not going to do you any justice. And I swear, just look at any Paddy fight. You think that's just one example? Trust me when I say this. Look at any Paddy fight. Look how he throws that low kick and look how he looks. It's just not the best look in general. That's why I can't look at that and I can't applaud it. It's just not good, my friend. It's not good. So that's one thing that's prevalent. The second thing I said, Paddy's too sloppy and defensively irresponsible in the striking realm. Now, when he tries to strike with people, if you look at the way he throws his punches and the way he like misses, and when he misses, he turns his back and he just looks horrible. I'm going to show you what I mean in some of these instances right here with another replay. Look how he reacts to pressure from T. Ferg. When he's getting pressured, he feels very uncomfortable. So like his first thing that he wants to do is like throw something. And then look when it comes to the boxing. Every time he throws boxing when he gets pressured, he's very nervous of the counter strike coming back. So he always turn his back or turn his shoulder or do something very lazy like this. And then start to run. Which is not, you might think, okay, but you're allowed to do that. It's UFC, you could allowed to run away, man. And striking still cowabunga to me. That's not going to work against someone who as explosive as Chandler. And I swear I can't wait for this fight to happen. I can't believe he's a favorite. You know what I'm saying? People who watch this video are going to put like the house on Chandler. So I'm sure the odds are going to switch. But it's just really embarrassing. It is not good tendencies to have. especially going against someone as good as a Michael Chandler. Like sloppy striking tendencies and being defensively irresponsible, it works for some people, but it doesn't work for a certain amount of strikers. And I feel like the strikers it won't work for the most would be someone like a Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier, someone who's aggressive and powerful and can be explosive. I'm also saying Chandler will fight him and he will be the aggressor. As you see, when Tony Ferguson was pressuring him, how he reacts to pressure is not the best. How he throws when he's getting pressure with his specifically boxing, it leaves him open to some counter shots. He will always kind of resort to a kick or a body kick, but the problem with that is that he gets kind of predictable with that and you're able to time an overhand. So whether he's going to try to kick out range for Michael Chandler or he's going to try to box him when he gets into range, it's all a recipe for disaster essentially for Paddy Pimblett. So I'm just looking at the striking in general. It's really looking like a long day for Paddy. Now people are going to be like, but Kenny, Paddy's great at grappling. He's just the way he's going to take him down, he's going to sub him, man. He's going to be easy, baby. It's going to be easy. Brother, I hate to say this, brother, no dollar, brother, no dollar. Let's talk about the grappling. First and foremost, Paddy is the better BJJ practitioner, and I'm not going to take that away from him. That's what he does better than Chandler. But Chandler is the better wrestler. Now, Chandler's ability to scramble in general, compared to Paddy's weak takedown defense, like the whole BJJ threat you guys are trying to express to me is not as significant as you think. Now, you guys are going to bring up like, oh, but Charles took him down. Charles is a lot better of a grappler. You know what I'm saying? Chandler has been experienced against great grapplers, Charles Oliveira being one of them. You know, Charles was able to take him down and use his strength, but Charles is a lot stronger and a lot more, you know, defensively responsible to even get to a place where he could attempt a takedown. I'm going to show you guys like Paddy's weak takedown because I feel like people think Paddy has good takedowns. When Paddy's getting pressured, sometimes he does something where he panic shoots and that just doesn't put him in a good spot. Like he ends up panic shooting and getting put in a bad position because he's not strong enough to panic shoot and take someone down. He even did it against Tony Ferguson. So those weak takedowns aren't going to be enough to take down someone like Michael Chandler. Yes, like I said, Charles took him down. Charles is not the same level of grappling as Paddy Pimblett. People really overrate how good of a grappler Paddy is. Yes, he has some decent BJJ and he subbed Bobby Green because Bobby Green made a stupid decision for whatever reason to shoot a double leg on him and then he got caught in a guillotine. I don't think Michael Chandler even wants or needs to shoot a double leg. Why would he want to? Like I just showed you guys the striking discrepancy. Why would Michael Chandler in turn put himself in a risky spot? If you guys haven't noticed, Michael Chandler like fights off entertainment, which I think is a dumb thing to do, and it costs him against the highest level. But no offense to Paddy Pimblett, he's not Dustin Poirier, he's not Justin Gaethje, he's not the highest level, so he's able to do that against fighters like this. Dan Hooker is the highest, like he is technically the highest level, but similar to Paddy, why did Dan Hooker have so much problems against Michael Chandler? Because he's open stance against a very explosive striker with aggression like Michael Chandler. That's why their style of fighting doesn't work, and Paddy's like a worse version of Dan Hooker. Like he can't stick and move as good as Dan, and his stance is even worse than Dan's, and he leaves him so much more openings than Dan Hooker. Dan got caught because he's open. Paddy's open with worse defensive tactics than Dan Hooker. So imagine what he's going to do to Paddy, man. And the grappling, like I'm saying, they're going to say the grappling, they're still going to take him down, he's going to sub him. Keep dreaming. If you think Paddy's going to grab him and just be strong enough to like lift him off the fence and take him down, especially when Chandler's a great scrambler, going to have the strength advantage, just watch the fight and see what happens. Listen, he's the underdog, right? Pick the favorite to win. Pick Paddy Pimblett to win, chat. Go ahead. I can't wait. Let's see what happens, brother. Let's go. Let's wrestle. Okay, let's wrestle. Let's start like that. Let's wrestle. And this leads me to my next point, which is level of opposition comparison. Why not talk about it? I think it's appropriate to talk about something like this. Paddy, best wins. Green, Ferguson, Jared Gordon. I said best wins. I put Jared Gordon. Seemed like a hypocrite because he definitely didn't beat Gordon. And then Jordan Levitt. Like, yeah, he's beating some juggernauts, man. Oh my goodness. Bobby Green, bro. How the hell do you pull that off? Now, jokes aside, Green's his best win on paper. I can't even say Ferguson's a great win because that wasn't prime Ferguson. Ferguson was well out of it by then. And it was actually embarrassing. And Ferguson had moments against him just because Paddy's very irresponsible and kind of mid. Like, not kind of, very mid. And then Chandler has won against Charles twice. He went against Dustin Poirier. He went against Justin Gaethje. Dan Hooker knocked him out. Tony Ferguson, a better version of Tony, by the way, and he knocked him out. Like, they're just a distinct difference in level of opposition and experience. Now, I understand that Michael Chandler might not be the smartest fighter. He puts himself in weird situations, and sometimes it looks like he puts himself in situations that he can get countered and caught. Like against Dustin Poirier, he was beating the brakes off him, then he gets countered, and then the whole momentum shifts. Same with Justin Gaethje. He was hitting him well, then gets caught with an uppercut, momentum shifts. He's going against the highest levels, and these guys are actually good counter strikers. They're good at stuff like that. Paddy Pimblett is not known for being a good counter striker. I don't know what people are talking about, even complimenting his counter striking. He's very mid in the striking in general. And like these guys, like he's making mistakes against the best and is paying for it. He was beating up Charles the first fight, and then he paid for it later because mistakes. he's not going to pay for nothing. He could do whatever he wants. There's no, oh, I'm going to pay for this. There's none of that, brother. That's not even a thing in the world to talk about. No, brother, this is not even he's going to make a mistake. He can make mistakes against Paddy and still beat him. You know, I remember saying, because I actually had Paddy before I watched film. I remember my reasoning was, the Chandler that fought Charles will lose to anyone in the top 15. And I kind of meant that to an extent. However, I was taking a little bit from Charles in that fight and Charles' game plan. What Charles did really well, first round, he took down Chandler and controlled him for a good amount of time. Chandler got up, he got control for nearly 3 minutes. He got up, he was walking to the corner, fatigued, tired, breathing heavy, because he got controlled and took him down, and Charles made him pay. Now, Paddy's not going to be able to drain his energy like that, because he's not going to be able to make him pay by wrestling him or taking him down. It's not going to happen. So I'm not really worried about that. So that's a big part that we don't acknowledge him for. Charles' great offensive wrestling to be able to take him down and control him and tame the beast. You know what I'm saying? Paddy's not going to be able to tame the beast. You know, Paddy doesn't have that grappling advantage like Charles does. You know, so I really look at this fight, and I don't think it's a hard fight in the slightest. From the experience ways, level of opposition, from the striking to the grappling, I just have a very hard time seeing the favorite for this fight beating the underdog, Michael Chandler, who's a real bad man, brother. He really carries some crazy power in his hands, bro. I'm talking beats on him, Dr. Dre, you know, hands on him, lots of bass. It's going to be one of those beatings that makes you reconsider the odds makers' decisions to ever make underdogs again. You know, I was really upset about Weili Soares, but these odds, man, I can't believe they're making Chandler the underdog like this. Now, how do I think the fight goes? What's my official pick? This is how the fight goes to me. Chandler will be the constant aggressor, constantly backing up Paddy Pimblett. Paddy's going to be panicking. So he's going to be cautiously throwing with his chin up, because I've noticed when Paddy gets pressured, he panics, and it results in him just throwing shots, but the shots are very telegraphed, and it puts his chin on the platter. It's almost like he's throwing, and because he's panicking, and he's making himself more vulnerable to counter shots, which is not good. I also said Chandler will cause panic shots, like I said about Paddy. When Paddy is getting pressured, he doesn't like it, because he knows his boxing is kind of shit. So he's getting pressured. He's like, okay, I can't box well. He's too close to that kicking range. What do I do? And you panic shoot. I'm gonna actually show you guys an example of when Tony Ferguson was putting it on him, and he was like, okay, he's pressuring me. I'm gonna shoot. And then Tony easily stuffs this, because when you panic shoot, it's very easy to stuff because there's nothing behind it. It's kind of what Kobe was doing against Buckley. When you're panic shooting against a fighter, it's the easiest thing on earth to stuff. It's the easiest thing ever. I'm gonna show you an example. Right here, as you can see, Tony pressuring, and this makes Paddy panic shoot. And look how easy it is to stuff a takedown like this. When you're just doing this, it's the easiest thing to stuff on the earth, because you just gotta do this. You gotta rotate, boom, 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 you're out. And then you see Paddy back to his arms down, corny stance. I'm open. Please don't beat me up. This guy is doomed, brother. He's doomed. This is my opinion. This guy has no chance against him, brother. No chance. So I really just see Chandler imposing his dominance with just forward pressure, and some more forward pressure. And after he's doing that, I see Paddy starting to panic shoot, starting to throw cautiously, and eventually it's going to either get him caught or hurt really badly. Chandler will rock him. Chandler's going to have a moment in this fight. I got Chandler by KO points. Paddy just can't win. I can't look at this fight objectively, compare styles, and say that Paddy has a chance, because I'll be lying to you guys. You guys know I'm big on stylistic matchups. Stylistically, this just happens to be a nightmare for Paddy. More so a nightmare than Jared Gordon, who does have that aggression that Chandler's going to have, but he just doesn't have that power and explosivity. You know, and you guys might be like, but can he beat Jared Gordon? Cool, you could have that opinion. I don't mind. You could say I'm trying to cope by saying he lost to Jared Gordon. Watch what happens in the Chandler fight. He's not just going to be a Jared Gordon with aggression. Like I said, power makes a difference, and heavy hands and speed and explosivity. Chandler has all those. And then the ability, not just because panic shots are just so easy to stuff, but the fact that Chandler can actually wrestle well. He's a good defensive wrestler. He's strong, and he has great scrambles. So the whole grappling advantage, you guys are going to try to push against me saying, but Kenny, he's going to take him down, submit him. Keep dreaming. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Listen, I don't mind. I love when people disagree with me. I love when it's the underdog and I pick it correctly. I can't wait for Michael Chandler to get this done, brother. And it's just another day in the office for me, brother. Mr. Kenny, brother. Dale, brother. Dale. Yeah, look at these arms, bro. Stop talking to me like that. I'm crazy, bro. Muy loco, brother. Muy loco. Another easy pick for me, man. Michael Chandler by KO points. Lock it. Because if it does go the distance and Paddy, Scousers don't get knocked out, if that's actually true, he's going to survive. I think the Scousers is going to get knocked out, and I think that's going to age really badly. He's going to be a meme the next day. But let me know what you guys think about this matchup. I really have a good feeling I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to ace it on the head. Mr. Kenny strikes again. That's it for me, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.